Y'all are gonna hate me for this one, but I just gotta say it. I regret voting for Donald Trump, which, crazy enough, I never actually thought that I'd ever say. And over the past 4 years, there were a lot of promises that were made. There were a lot of things that we were told that would happen once Donald Trump got into office. A lot of promises that were made to the Republican Party, to even liberals. And I just want to say that I've kind of been sitting in this for the past few weeks, since obviously he took office a few weeks ago, and
I never thought this day will come. Well, I'm gonna regret what I did. I really regret voting for this guy. I'm working on this program for the sound power phones batteries. We're researching these batteries for these sound power phones, and they cut off our funding. It is really sad. You get to the office and they tell you, we're no longer going to fund your research.
Good day, everyone. Today we're diving deep into a topic that have been making headlines. Why are some MAGA supporters feeling regret about their votes? What were they promised? And what is the reality they are facing today? Let's discuss. Now, this is not about bashing anyone's belief. It's about understanding what was expected versus what's actually happening. In the wake of the 2024 elections, many Americans cast their votes with the hope of a renewed promise. But as the months unfold, a growing number of MAGA supporters are experiencing unexpected consequences, leading to a wave of regret. To understand this regret, we have to start from the beginning, the promises that got people to vote in the first place. Many voters were drawn to bold promises. Let's break them down. Revitalizing the economy, bringing jobs back to America, promises to end corruption and put power back into the hands of the people. National security, a plan to replace Obamacare with something cheaper and better. Promises to prioritize American interests, bring troops home, and avoid costly international conflicts. It felt like real change was coming. But did these promises hold up? Take a look at this video.
I will end the devastating inflation crisis immediately, bring down interest rates, and lower the cost of energy.
We're going to bring those prices way down.
A vote for Trump means your groceries will be cheaper. Groceries, cars, everything. We're going to get the prices down. Starting on day one, we will end inflation and make America affordable again.
Now, one of the strongest appeal of the MAGA movement was the promise of economic growth and prosperity. But many voters are not feeling the economic squeeze. Supporters expected economic relief, but instead, they are facing rising prices for everyday food essentials, including food and gas. In industries like manufacturing and farming, communities that were strong MAGA supporters, the reality has been very brutal. Trade wars and tariffs ended up hurting local businesses more than helping them. And despite promises to bring back manufacturing jobs to strengthen American industry, many regions, especially in rural areas, are seeing job stagnation or decline. These economic realities are making former supporters question whether the MAGA agenda really serves their financial interests. Take a look at this video.
Yeah, we voted for Trump because he promised while he was campaigning like a million times that when he got into office, he was going to bring down prices, bring down grocery prices. The inflation has been high ever since COVID, and he promised he would bring that down, but it's obvious to me now that that was not true. Egg prices have skyrocketed. The bird flu is killing all the birds, and he doesn't seem to be doing anything about that.
I sell them at to make that up. So it's already started, and for people who didn't realize what a tariff was, you're about to find out, okay? Because it's going to affect everything that you buy. Because there's not a product on the shelf that doesn't have some element of it that comes from another country. So, good luck.
And now we are starting to see large corporations also announce that they are going to have to implement massive job cuts and slash their sales forecasts for various reasons, one of them being due to incoming raises in prices due to Donald Trump's tariffs. We see here from Fortune, Nissan announces 9,000 job cuts and slashes sales forecasts as it faces severe situation. And this is due to Nissan's plummeting sales and also the fact that they are expecting higher and higher prices in the coming year due to these tariffs. tariffs. They say the following. When asked about Donald Trump's victory in the U.S. presidential election, the CEO of Nissan said that the company was, quote, hearing various things like tariffs, but it's not just us. Quote, we'll be lobbying in the direction of our medium to long-term plans should remain, but we will conduct our business while monitoring the situation carefully.
This also has an impact on the farmers and teachers too. Trump international trade policies and changes in USAID food purchases have hit farmers very hard for a group that once supported him. Take a look at this video.
I wanted to start off by saying I did vote for Donald Trump. We are possibly going to lose our farm if NRCS doesn't hold up their contract with us on the EQIP program. So the reason that they're not able to hold up the contract is our EQIP program, which is cost sharing on fences, waters, a well, and some seedings, was funded by the Inflation Reduction Act. Because of the executive orders, there's a pause or a freeze on the funding through the Inflation Reduction Act, and they're not able to pay out on the stuff that we completed or anything going forward. I'm not the only one this is affecting. So there are other farmers in the comments saying that they're in the same boat that I'm in because they signed these contracts, and the contracts, even like, so whenever I looked into the contract, I made sure that that funding was set aside. It wasn't funding that, oh, we hope it's there whenever it's done.
A lot of people effed around, and now they're finding out. And no group of people is going to find out more quickly than farmers, because they're really going to get screwed. With the cutting of this USAID program, they're really going to get hit hard, because what was that program, or is that program, that is not being operated as it's supposed to be because of Donald Trump giving complete control of the federal government to the billionaire who bought him, Elon Musk. Anyways, what was the purpose of that? The purpose was to provide humanitarian relief around the world. And a big part of that was providing food to desperate people around the world. And what we did through that program is purchase a lot of agricultural products produced by American farmers and then distribute those products around the world.
On the other hand, teachers are facing job insecurity as Trump's intention to dismantle the Department of Education is causing anxiety among teachers and parents. The potential loss of federal education funding threatening schools, especially in rural and low-income areas. Take a look at this video.
15 states that most rely on federal funding for its public schools all voted for Trump.
I voted for President Trump.
You didn't vote for Trump eliminating federal funds?
No, I did not vote for that. I voted for President Trump to make America first again. I do not think that's what the voters want. It's devastating.
Do you know what getting rid of the Department of Education, getting rid of the mechanisms by which that support is delivered, it means it goes away. Trying to uplift states that are experiencing major either shortcomings, failures in governance, or just happen to be for systemic reasons, struggling more. No matter how much you may hate me, MAGA, I want you to get that extra support. But Trump wants to get rid of it, and it would be devastating. She's realizing how messed up this would be for her after voting for it. When you look at these women, I don't want to go, well, you're going to get what you voted for. No, even if she's actively enabling the problem, I want to push back against that problem.
Let's talk about healthcare. Promises were made to get better and cheap healthcare services, but in reality, changes in healthcare policies have left many struggling with medical costs. The lack of affordable healthcare solutions has affected middle-class families and the elderly, two groups they were key supporters. These policy outcomes are prompting regret among those who feel they were misled or overlooked in the decision-making process. Take a look at this video.
So this is for MAGA pro-life mothers. Now that we know that women and teenage girls are losing their lives in emergency rooms because of these healthcare bans that were put into place by Trump and other Republicans, and even if you believe this garbage about it being the doctors and the hospitals who are misinterpreting the law, what do you think is going to happen when your daughter shows up in an emergency room and has sepsis? Because they're not going to ask you who you voted for. They're not going to listen to you while you're screaming for them to help your daughter about how, oh, that's not what we meant.
Apparently, a lot of them are figuring out that Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act are the same thing, and they actually voted against their own self-interest. If you voted for them, you took away my health care. Not only did you take away my health care, You took away my ability to get insurance at all because I have pre-existing conditions. And that's just one of the minuscule ways you've affected people in this country.
Another significant reason for voters' regret is the growing division within the country. MAGA rhetoric has been linked to heightening political polarization. Supporters who initially admired Trump's boldness are now concerned about the increased hostility and divisions in their community. Even some former supporters feel alienated as their political stance has strained relationships with family, friends, and even professional networks. The rising social tension and political isolation have left many MAGA voters reconsidering their votes. Social media has been a double-edged sword in modern politics. While it mobilized many, it also became a breeding ground for misinformation. False narrative and misleading information have sown narrative and confusion. Take a look at this video.
MAGA influencers and politicians are rushing to delete their tweets after they were caught lying about what was in the budget resolution passed by House Republicans last night. And Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna, for example, she tweeted yesterday, "Congratulations, America. Tonight we finally put an end to tax on tips and tax on overtime." Except there was one problem. That was a complete and total lie. And so she was fact-checked by Twitter, by the community notes, people saying that no, that in fact did not include provisions for no tax on tips or no tax on overtime. Also, that wasn't even the full bill. Nothing actually passed. It was just a resolution putting forth targets of what they ultimately want. And that tweet has now been deleted. MAGA influencer account End Wokeness got caught in the same exact lie, writing, "Breaking House GOP."
The regret among MAGA supporters isn't just about broken promises, it's about unmet expectations and the realities of political decision making. These voters believe in a vision of unity, prosperity, and American greatness. But today they face economic struggles, policy repercussions, social divisions, and a sense of political disillusionment. This shift is a powerful reminder that political choices have real-world consequences, and voters are holding leaders accountable. As the nation reflects on these choices, the political landscape continues to evolve. So what are your thoughts on this complex issue? Let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Bye.